It is your boy Pat, the designer. And as always, you already know, I'm back at it again. Had to come on here. Had to come on here and talk with the people. Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace get under my skin so much, I had to come on here and talk with the people. How y'all doing? If you're in the YouTube right now, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports weekly. If you are on the Facebook, make sure that you share that thing up and like the video. They get under my skin so much. Good Lord. Let's talk about this team. Let's talk about this Bears team. Let's talk about the direction we're heading. Let's talk about, as we just sat here and had a, what was that? What would we say that was? 2 hours worth of press conference? Did we get any answers? Did we find anything out? Like the video of you in here. Did we find anything out? Did we get an understanding from any point about what the Chicago Bears are doing? As always, it is your boy Pat, the designer, back at it again. Did we get an understanding from any point? John in the live, what's good, my boy? This is for the P1s. This is an old school throwback. We call this Pat and the people. I am Pat. Y'all are the people, and I want to know y'all opinion. I want to know y'all opinion. Because based on what I saw, these guys still are confused. Based on what I saw, these guys still don't have the answers. SPM in the live, what's good? Torian in the live, what's good? Ichigo in the live, what's good? Based on what I saw tonight, they still don't have the answers. If you're in the live right now, like the video. And I want to get into this. I want to talk about this Chicago Bears team and what's the future. Eddie P, what's good? Because I'm going to be real with you. What I saw today was literally, what was it, 35 minutes? Vody in the live was good. JM was literally 35 minutes of Ryan Pace dodging questions. Literally 35 minutes of Ryan Pace dodging questions. And then when we get to Matt Nagy, all right, I'll cut Matt a little bit of slack. I got a little bit more of an answer from him, but I'm going to be real with you. They're answers that we should have had 2 years ago. The answers that I got about the direction of this team, about where this team is heading, is that Matt Nagy is still learning on the job. That they have absolutely no idea what they're going to be doing with Allen Robinson. And of course, this is just banter that they got to put in front of our faces, right? This is just the banter that they got to put in front of us. But to me, when I think about even the small nuggets that he gave us, right? Let's start it off with Allen Robinson. He was essentially asked, hey, are you guys in the market to bring back Allen Robinson? Jay Critton alive, what's good, my boy? Oh, by the way, it's 5 o'clock. Here, anyway. I'm sure it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Go and grab you a drink. To me, what are you going to do with Allen Robinson? Is the franchise tag on the table? Well, you know, we've got everything on the table and we really don't know what we want to do with Allen Robinson. But sometimes, you know, the sky's blue. And so if the sky's blue, that means that the Bears are blue. If the Bears are blue, that means that I'm blue. And so we're going to try and get Allen Robinson back in here. What? What? What are you talking about, Matt? I'm sorry, Ryan. What are you talking about? What is your plan? Tell us a plan that you have to acquire at least the quarterback. Baki, What you expect, Pat? Ryan Pace has been dodging questions ever since he was hired. I'm going to be real with you. Ryan was a lot more open before these last couple of losing seasons. When they winning, he's mad open. When they winning, he's mad open. Is there a plan in place for the 2021 Chicago Bears? That's the question on the table right now. If you're in here right now, like the video. Is there a plan in place for the 2021 Chicago Bears? Because it doesn't seem like it, y'all. It doesn't seem like they legitimately have a plan for getting a deal done with Allen Robinson. JM Football Productions, this is exactly what he said, and I was going to bring this up here. Man really said Allen Robinson is a good player, and we like good players. Fam. Now, I understand you can't go in and tell me, okay, yes, we're going to sign Allen Robinson. But tell me, where's the breakdown? Let me into what the problem is that you can't get this deal done. Is it the fact that he's asking for too much money? What is the plan for the 2021 Chicago Bears? Did you glean anything from the press conferences today? I'm going to be real with you. If you're going to give me a press conference like we saw today, don't give me nothing. Stay quiet. I would rather you give me the Gar Forman, John Paxson, where I don't hear from you for 7 years, and then all of a sudden you come back and you just like, yeah, hey, by the way, that Derrick Rose thing, we really regret having to trade him. YBS, shout out to you, bro. At this point, y'all have no trade value outside of Allen Robinson. I'm not doubting that. I'm not saying that the Bears have. I think we got a little more trade value than Allen Robinson, though, bro. I mean, look, Roquan Smith is a dog. Jalen Johnson is developing well. I think we got a little bit of trade value. But if you didn't watch it, it really does sound like they might be looking to tag Allen Robinson, right? They might be looking to tag him. But we know how that's going to work. Allen Robinson has already come out and said he doesn't want to play under the franchise tag. He would rather get a deal done. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I believe that Allen Robinson, what was the number? Let me look it up just to fact check myself. I believe he was looking for about $20 million a year at the wide receiver position. But, and to me, little high for me. I'm not going to lie to you. Little high. But what's your plan? What's your plan? You came out here and you literally gave us nothing. What are you having this press conference for? What are you having a press conference for if you're going to come out here and give me nothing? You said nothing. You talked about nothing. You talked about culture. You talked about, what's his word? It's not cohesion. What's the word he always used? Somebody in the chat. Quincy the Great says, is it possible the reason why there's no deal is because the Bears are trying to get under the cap first, then make a fair deal? I mean, there it is right there. Torian Whitefield, collaboration. We have a great collaboration. Me and Matt, we get together and we really love each other. Sometimes I hug him. He hugs me. You never know. Dude, we don't care. Tell us what is happening. Tell us what your plan is for 2021, because when I look at this Bears team, clearly at the quarterback position, every plan you've had has failed. The plans that you have left are last-ditch efforts. Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, last-ditch efforts. Complete last-ditch efforts. There's not a quarterback out there that's left that realistically is going to be on the Chicago Bears this season. minus the guys that you already have. Or I shouldn't say that. There's quarterbacks out there that'll be on the Bears. There's not one that's going to make an impact on the Bears. There's not an impact player out there right now that you can go get. This team has no plan. Matty Matt and Alive, what's good? This team has no plan. And if you do have a plan, it's not moving in the right direction. You've made no moves forward. You've literally moved backwards. You've literally moved backwards. T Live in here. He stays saying that we ain't even know Mac was coming till last minute. I got to give him credit for the Mac deal. I got to give him credit. Listen, I'm going to be real with you. I'm in here a little hot right now, right? Because I just listened to essentially an hour of garbage. But if he can pull off a deal like he did with Mac where nobody knew it was coming, okay. All right, listen, I'll sing your praises. I'll sing your praises. But is that in place? Is that coming? Is it realistic that that's coming? They were able to get the Mac deal done because Mac's cap hit was manageable. Russell Wilson's cap hit, not manageable. Deshaun Watson's cap hit, not manageable. You're essentially saying we're going into the next season to do nothing. And I don't want to get on here and bash these guys. I don't. I'm looking for something. Give me something that I can use to come to y'all and say, listen, I really think these guys are moving in the right direction. But there seems to be no direction for the Chicago Bears right now. Legitimately, there seems to be no direction for the Chicago Bears right now. The only thing that I got is that with the things that we're not willing to do. They asked him about the Allen Robinson trade. We're not going to talk about that. They asked him about going to get a franchise quarterback. Well, you know, these guys are under contract, so we really don't want to get into that right now. What? You're in a quarterback search. What did you come on here to talk about? What did you think they were going to ask you? I mean, realistically, what did you think they were going to ask you? Did you think they were going to ask you, well, you know, what do you think the weather forecast is looking like at Soldier Field when you guys get back? Well, I really appreciate you. Bruh! Why? Why did they have this? If you're not going to lay out a plan, which it seems like you really, whatever plan you have is not a realistic one. Why? Why did you get up there and talk for 30 minutes today? Good grief, y'all. Good grief. Hey, listen. I'm hot. We're going to continue the conversation on the other side. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'll be back in 2 minutes. It is your boy, Pat the Designer. See y'all on the other side.
You have to really dig into these numbers. Don't sit there and just be that casual fan that says, oh, and you follow mainstream media, because that changes day by day. You know, that changes every day. You know, at one point in time, Brady's not the GOAT and he's doing all this. Next thing you know, he's the best thing since sliced bread. Listen,
Tom Brady stopped being the GOAT every season he wins a Super Bowl.
You know what I'm saying? You really got to dig into, if we're going to play armchair GM, really try to be armchair GM. Like, really dig into why these particular moves are made and what it sets yourself up for. You can't have you can't have everything. You cannot have it all. Because the one thing I've told everyone since the start, if we go after a bigger name, who are we putting after him? Because we got to see what Pat Mahomes with the bad O-line for a particular day look like. I mean, he's throwing dimes, but guess what? He looked a lot like Matt Stafford
dots.
He look a lot like Matt Stafford if you don't have people in a situation who are under pressure, and I know that team is good, so don't get me wrong, but realistically, that's the kind of situation we set ourselves up with game after game by going to get other people and stuff like that. So it's not about putting this particular quarterback on the same plateau or echelon of Dax, Matt's, definitely not Deshaun's and stuff like that. It's really trying to, how does this system work for him? How does he take us to the next step? Like there are levels to this game. Right. We are like middle of the road. We ain't elite yet. We middle of the road. We're just trying to inch up.
Barely.
So at this point, yeah.
Barely.
Hey, we're just trying to inch up. That's all we want. We just want somebody who knows, can he make this throw if I need him to make this throw? Because we don't know if we have that guy yet.
Yeah, facts.
That's a different conversation. When Mitch is behind center, we're asking all of those things. When Nick Foles is behind center, we know he's not making a play with his legs. We're like, God, is he going to get cracked in the ribs again? Like, absolutely.
Welcome back to the Windy City Breeze. Good grief, got a little tongue tied there. This is your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Reacting essentially to the Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace press conferences. Matt Nagy essentially said nothing, or Ryan Pace, I'm sorry, essentially said nothing for 30 minutes. But I will give Matt Nagy credit on one thing. Matt Nagy came out and at least gave us something. He gave us something to nibble on. A little something to nibble on. Now, he did a lot of too, you know what I'm saying? A lot of up and down, a lot of side banter, as you might call it. But he did give us a couple things that we can at least glean from. And if you're in the live right now, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. Make sure y'all sharing the videos up, man. We appreciate y'all. Y'all really been rocking with us. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us, for staying in tune with us, man. Let's talk about this Matt Nagy deal. Let's talk about this Matt Nagy. This man, Matt Nagy. Matt laid out his ideal QB. He laid out his ideal QB, and I'm going to be real with you. It's not Mitchell Trubisky, and it's not Nick Foles. That is the one thing that I took from it. We got Ringo J in alive, Stephon the Don. That is the one thing the one tidbit that we actually did get from Matt Nagy. He lays out his ideal QB, and it's not Mitch. It's not Nick Foles. I'm going to be real with you. It sounds a lot like Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson. And so the question now becomes, are you going to be able to find this guy? Matt's ideal QB. If he's a mobile guy, we would love it. A great decision maker and a leader. Now, you want the leader? All right. Nick Foles can be a leader. Mobile? That ain't him. Great decision maker? I think with a better O-line, he might be a little bit better decision maker, but based off what we saw this season with a very shaky O-line, with an O-line that was interchanging week in and week out, you know what I'm saying? Who is that QB that Matt's going to go get? Is that QB still out there? Can you find that QB in the draft? Is that what happens with Allen Robinson? Again, so many questions. Is there a plan? What plan might have been laid out? We got no details really from either of these press conferences. But we now know Matt Nagy's ideal QB. Okay. So you're telling me your ideal QB is every great QB in the NFL right now? Minus Brady. How do you find that guy? How do you go about getting that guy? How do you go about getting that guy into the building? That's the question on the table right now. And to me, it seems like there's not a solid plan in place to find that guy. They're talking about we're evaluating the situation. What situation are you evaluating? All the best QBs are gone, and the guys that are still on the table, they're not getting traded. We're talking about Russell Wilson. Russ comes with what, a $39 million cap hit if he gets traded? They're not doing that. Come on. He'll be in Seattle this season. He's going to have to face the likes of J.J. Watt, Nick Bosa, and Aaron Donald all season. I feel sorry for you, Russ. I'm sorry standing behind that O-line. And if y'all realistically think he wants to come here, okay, he put us on the list. All right, that's nice. The Bears will probably try and give up the most out of everybody there. What's he want to reunite with Jermaine Ifedi? Is that what his game plan is? Come on now. Come on now. The other thing that I gleaned from Matt Nagy that I'll actually give him credit for, and it's the one thing that I listened to that I think is the first time I've ever heard it. One, he acknowledged that he had mistakes this season, a lot of mistakes. But the other thing that I will say, it's the first time I've ever heard him talk about the Bears offense in a light where he said, I don't want to make what we have here Kansas City's offense. Yes, we want to take things from Kansas City's offense, but we want to create Chicago's offense. And if that doesn't blow your mind, you haven't been paying attention, because all we see is the Bears try to run the same plays that Kansas City runs about 2 hours later, except they don't have the same players, so it doesn't work that way. But it's the first time that we've heard Matt Nagy talk about this offense in that kind of light. It's the first time we've heard him say, we're not trying to do what they're doing over there. So, okay, you're trying to build something new, which leads me to believe that Mitchell Trubisky is probably gone. Nick Foles is probably gone. Because when you think about that, those are guys who are trying to run that system who, okay, maybe Matt didn't fit, or maybe Mitch didn't fit in with that system. But more than likely, that's the kind of system that you're going to try to run with those guys under center. What they were doing in KC, what was happening over in Philly. So Matt's saying, we're trying to build our own scheme. We're trying to create our own offense. Okay, I like that. That's the one thing I heard today that I was like, okay, let's talk about that. Let's go into that. How does that happen? What happens with that? What do you have to do with that? I'll tell you one thing you got to do. You got to have impact players on this team. You got to have impact players on this team. Do you have that on the offensive side of the ball? You do. And Allen Robinson, are you going to be able to get him back? Are you going to be able to get him back? When speaking on the Allen Robinson situation, Matt Nagy said he was looking for a win-win situation. Speaking between Ryan Pace and Allen Robinson, that's not going to be here. That's not going to be here. And I'm going to be real with you. If you're willing to put Allen Robinson on the franchise tag, which is, what, a little bit under 18 mil? Offer him 18 mil. Because for the kind of production that he gives you on the field, for if Matt Nagy's looking to run a new offense, looking to create a Chicago Bears offense, for the kind of production that he's going to give you on the field, you might want to have him out there. Especially if you are able to go into the draft, find your franchise quarterback, find the guy that you're going to be able to move forward. It helps a heck of a lot more if you got a guy that dropped, what, 6 passes this season? It helps a heck of a lot more. Chi-Town Ray said, you have non-football people running this franchise, Ted Phillips and McCaskey's. Yeah. It's tough for me to attack George McCaskey because I believe George is genuinely really trying to win and really a nice dude. Like, I keep seeing this stuff where Bears fans are just writing them letters just like, dog, we can't stand you. We hope you sell the team, blah, blah, blah. And George just write them back, handwritten notes signed by him with like Bears tickets in it. What the world? I want to be irritated with you, George, but luckily I got Ryan Pace here giving me a word salad and Matt Nagy here essentially just like, yeah, whatever Ryan says. YBS says Allen Robinson might hold out this year. I doubt that happens just because, listen, if y'all going to pay me $18 million for a season and you were trying to offer me $15 million, okay, I get out there and run for you. So I doubt that happens, especially at the wide receiver position. And right now, A-Rob doesn't have a ton of leverage in the situation because this team isn't in a spot where A-Rob's a make or break player. They just don't. Is the team a lot worse with him not out there? Yeah, but the team's not in a position where it's okay, we have to go in all in on this because there's no other option. Like, you are our wide receiver option. They're not there yet because they haven't figured out who the heck's going to be throwing them the ball. They still haven't figured out who's going to be throwing them the ball. That's the first question you need to figure out. The fact that we're here with Allen Robinson, that should have been done in season. That should have been done in season. We shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be here. We should be yelling Bear Don to Allen Robinson for being a Chicago Bear for the next 5 years. The fact that we're here shows the incompetence that's sitting in that chair. Matty Matt, the offensive line is garbage. I want to see the offensive line that we saw towards the end of the season with James Daniels back in there. I'm not saying that they're better. But I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. I'm not saying that they're good, but I think that they're better when they were more solid, when they had that same five in there, if you throw James Daniels in there as well. Now, has that turned into a dominant offensive line? Probably not. And listen, with offensive linemen, once offensive linemen start getting hurt, think about Kyle Long. There's not a lot of times those bodies are too big. When you start having injuries like that, they pile up. Realistically, you should be trying to find a lineman every single season so that you have an influx of those guys. As much as Aaron Rodgers hates on not having an impact weapon, they find that man a lineman every season. That's an impact lineman that can stand in front of them. At the end of the day, those are some things that are important. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that are important. Stephen Weatherford says, would we franchise tag him because of shortage to cap, then give him a fat contract the following year? I mean, you would think that something like that would happen. I'm going to be real with you. And I'm going to say this to y'all Bears fans. If a contract does not get done and they franchise Allen Robinson, I solely believe that it is to trade Allen Robinson later in the year. I really do believe that it's to trade Allen Robinson later in the year. Or you tag him to trade him before the draft and see if you can get a first-round pick back that you can go find your franchise quarterback. Which is an option that if you can turn him into a first-round pick, it's an option I'm not opposed to. You know why? Because who's throwing to Allen Robinson? Who is throwing to Allen Robinson? Until we can figure that out, we're in the same spot. Steven said, first time someone read my comment. My bad, bro. Do we be missing you? That's my bad. We usually try to get to everybody up in here. At least once. Chris Newman, George wants to win, but I truly believe that Phillips needs to leave like he said he was going to do at the end of the year. Yeah, well, I don't want Phillips there just because. That's the end of that one. Just because. What do y'all think, man? What do y'all think? Oh, here's the other thing. Before I get out of here, I was going to get out of here at 6, but I got to touch on this one too. The one dumb thing Matt said, Steven said, on YouTube. Yeah, bro, tune in with us more. Make sure you subscribe to the page, man. Everybody that's in here, if y'all not subscribed, make sure y'all subscribe to the page, like the video. We talk Chicago sports weekly. We will be live for the podcast tomorrow as well. I got to stop calling it the podcast. It's not really a podcast no more. We on here doing a show. We putting on a show. You know what I'm saying? Bear Don. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go. But yeah, here's the other thing that I want to touch on. So before I do that, Van Douglas says, so is giving up the house a good thing to get a QB? I think not. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. I agree with you, but it depends on what kind of house it is. If you're telling me that for Russell Wilson, we're giving up a couple of first-round picks and Roquan Smith, okay. I believe you need to cut money on the other side of the football anyway to improve your offense, because at least with the defense, you got so many pieces on the defensive side that if it's at least a mediocre defense, and by mediocre, I mean if you're a top 11 to 15 defense, guess what? If the offense is moving, the defense can be top 11 to 15. Think about the teams that made it to the East or to the conference title games. Top offenses. I believe 3 of them were 1, 2, and 3. Come on. Everybody that was in the title game was a top 10 offense. I believe they might have even been top 5, but I'm not sure. You got to get the offensive side of the ball going. It's a different NFL. It's not 85 no more. We don't got Coach over there sitting there telling Mike Singletary, hey, blitz, because the line's going to flip and open up because everybody standing in front of you is a Hall of Famer. Do I love seeing the defense? Yeah, this is Chicago. It's bear down. That's what we do. But you know what I would love? To have a passer that's able to get the ball over 3,000 yards. We haven't had that in our franchise's history. Here's the other thing. The one thing Matt said that really got under my skin. Oh, he got me with this one. Because he was talking about the coaches that he had in the building. He was talking about the coaches that they brought into the building. And he said, the thing that I love most is that we have coaches in the building with no ego. I hate that so much. When he talks about that, like it's the collaboration. We've got a great collaboration. We've got coaches in the building that have no ego. You know why? Because they ain't accomplished nothing. They don't have a place for an ego. There's no room for an ego when you're not good. You know when coaches have egos? When they're Bill Belichick. You want to know why Bill Belichick's got an ego? Because god dang it, he's got a bunch of rings on his finger that he can backhand you with. He deserves to have an ego. You think Andy Reid don't got an ego? Tim, you right. What'd I say? 3,000? Yeah, 4,000, bro. My bad. 4,000. That's my bad. We're sitting here talking about coaches with no ego in the building. We all work together. We're all kumbaya. We all walk arm in arm. Sometimes we hug. That's great. You know what happens when you got an ego, though? You usually got something to back the ego up. I want somebody with a little bit of an ego. I want somebody with a little bit of, yeah, I'm the man. Let me ask you something. Let me ask the chat something. Phil Jackson, a little bit of an ego. Mike Ditka, a little bit of an ego. Joel Quenneville, a little bit of an ego. Buddy Ryan, a little bit of an ego. Khalil Mack, a little bit of an ego. Let's go to players on his team. Khalil Mack, a little bit of an ego. Akeem Hicks, a little bit of an ego. Come on, bro. Now, if they got an ego and there are a bunch of jokes out there, all right, then we don't want that. But let me tell you something. If you got a defensive coordinator in there with a little bit of an ego, because he does his job well, you deserve to have an ego when you do your job well. You know why those guys don't have egos? Because nobody in there's done their job well. Matt Nagy, you can't have an ego. You know when Matt Nagy had an ego? When he was coach of the year. When everybody was hyping him up for that season. When we were all on his back. Greatness comes with an ego. Sitting here talking about we've got coaches that don't have an ego. Greatness comes with an ego. Jay Critt, we need some a-holes on the team. I mean, okay, to the other team, as long as they're to the other team. Joakim was an a-hole, but never to his teammates. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, greatness comes with an ego. Think about our greats. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman. Yeah, to each other, they might not have an ego. But don't tell me we got nobody in the building with an ego. We've got nobody in the building that thinks they're above the other person. I should think I'm above you if I'm the head coach or if I'm the DC and I'm telling you that this is what we're going to do that works. And you're telling me I don't think that's going to work. No, it's going to work. Put the play in. Run the play. Matt Nagy got me out here talking an extra 5 minutes. I'm not playing with y'all, bro. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in with your boy. You know why? Because I'm good at what I do. You know why? Because I got a little bit of an ego. Hey, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. Make sure y'all tune in next week. Tomorrow, we're gonna be live for the live show. Me and P Kid will be on there talking. You have to see tomorrow. You like that tease? You like that tease? Like that a little bit? We're also going to have the game of the week this Friday. Now, we were going to let y'all decide the game of the week like we did last week, but as y'all know, Stephon the Don Ringo J is a Miami Heat fan. And the Bulls play the Miami Heat Friday. And we figured, Joe, we got Jimmy Butler. We got Zach LaVine. We got Stephon the Don. We got a lot of smack talk coming. It's going to be a fun live, so make sure y'all get in tune with that. I believe, let me check that real quick. I believe that is a 7 o'clock start for that Miami Heat game because I think that it is in Chicago. Ooh, I am wrong. It's a 8 o'clock start for the Miami Heat game. So y'all tune in with us 8 o'clock Friday. We'll be live for the Miami Heat game, and we'll be live for the post game as well. Y'all get in tune with us on that. Is that next Friday, bro? Hold on. Let me double check this schedule real quick, Matty Matt. Don't do me like that, dog. Because I'm tweaking here. Now I got to find the Bulls. Let me see the schedule. Okay, all right. Pelicans Wednesday. That's this Friday, bro. What you talking about? Oh, that is next Friday. Oh, dang. All right, that's on me. That's on me, baby. Well, y'all tune in next Friday for that, respectfully. Y'all tune in next Friday for that. That's on me. Well, shoot, game of the week might be tomorrow then. Bulls versus Pels. We might get that in tomorrow. We'll let y'all know ahead of time, as always. We appreciate y'all for tuning in with us. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Man, how did I read that wrong? All right, that's on me. At the end of the day, let me get them bear downs in the chat. I ain't done this one in a minute. Let me get them bear downs in the chat before I get up out of here. I got to see some bear downs in the chat. I got to see them bear downs in the chat. Because at the end of the day, we were Bears fans long before Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace decided to ever show their faces in Chicago, right? And guess what? Be it based on Hallis, based on Ditka, based on the McCaskies, based on Trubisky, based on Nagy, based on whoever's in there, we're going to be Bears fans long after. It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Chicago, y'all stay safe out there, man. If y'all want to continue watching our Chicago Bears content, go and check out the channel. We got playlists on there as well. Y'all stay safe out there, man.